Hi, folks. Thanks for being here today. I I'm gonna kind of like start talking a little bit, but try to be cognizant that other folks might not have hopped onto the meeting yet. Um, I would love to know like where families are joining from, if y'all are already registered for Family Weekend, or if you're kind of just looking for some additional information, if you'd be willing to drop that in the chat, or any questions that you might have. I kind of have an agenda that we'll go over, but if there's stuff that I don't touch on, I'd love to be able to cover all the questions that may come up. But thank you for being here tonight. I really appreciate it. Cool. Awesome. Looking for more information, not registered. No biggie. I feel like that's what's happening for a lot of folks, which is totally fine. Um, well, I'll go ahead and kind of slowly get rolling into what we're going to talk about tonight, which is Peace Family Weekend for this academic year. So I'll just kind of click through. I'm really bad with Zoom when it comes to like sharing my full screen, so I'm just going to click through so we're all looking at the same thing rather than me fully sharing the screen. So this is the agenda for this evening. Basically meeting the staff, which is me, spoiler alert. I'll go over the full family weekend schedule and give some details about the weekend. I'll talk a little bit about registration and how it works, some things to expect after registration. And then if folks have any questions, I'm more than happy to answer any additional questions as we go through. I will say if questions come up as I'm chatting with you all, feel free to drop them in the chat so you don't forget them. I can definitely circle back or pause as they come up, so that's really no problem. But yeah, that's basically what we'll go over, and then we'll see where that kind of takes us for time. So, as far as meeting the staff, hi, if you haven't met me, I know some of you might have a student that is new to Peace. You might have a student that's returning to Peace. I'm still semi-new to Peace. So, my name is Megan Hickey. I serve as the Family and International Services Specialist here at Peace. I am part of the Office of Student Involvement. So, basically, if your student is engaging with a program during the academic year, I'm part of that team. I am a full-time staff member. And then in case you ever need anything from me, those are both of my emails that I kind of work with. So that's my personal Hickey at Peace or Pacer Family at Peace. And basically, as far as family programs is concerned, if you're seeing a text message, an email, newsletter, things like that, that's really coming from me. So if there's ever any questions or, any suggestions that you have, please let me know. For folks that are just joining in, I kind of went over the agenda briefly, talking about myself to just meet the staff behind family programs. And now you've joined at the perfect time. I'm going to go through kind of the full schedule of the weekend, and then I'll roll into registration, instructions, and then if folks have any questions at the end. This meeting is also recorded, so I will upload this to the Pacer Family YouTube channel and share that on the Pacer Family portal as well. Alrighty, so I will go ahead and talk about the schedule for the weekend. So starting on Friday, actually, I guess I should say, so Family Weekend this year is taking place October 24th, 25th, 26th at Pieces Campus. We have a full weekend kind of scheduled out, which is really exciting. So this is kind of just a brief version. I have a schedule with more details that I'll talk through, and then I will actually be uploading that to the portal as well, so you can reference that later on. But I'll just go through day by day and kind of talk about the things that we've got planned. So on Friday, just so folks know, the campus bookstore is going to be open extended hours for folks coming in for family weekend. So they're open from 9 until 3 that day. When you do come for check-in for family weekend, whether you're checking in on the Friday or if you're checking in on the Saturday, you'll actually be receiving a coupon to use in our campus bookstore. Really awesome opportunity just because we have a lot of new merchandise in the space with our new logo, which is really exciting. So looking at that for Friday, and then after that, we'll have check-in available from 4 to 8 p.m., just kind of open, running. Feel free to join us whenever you have a chance on Friday. We recognize that folks might have work and might not be able to get there until later in the evening. And if you did purchase state fair tickets, that's also where you'll pick them up when you check in for family weekend. Check-in is just going to consist of some materials for the weekend. We'll have a guide, we'll have some family weekend swag, and just things to kick off your weekend with us, right? And then what I wanted to mention as well, if you were to potentially arrive early, so you get to campus at 3, check-in doesn't start until 4, we'll actually have some music and some yard games on our main lawn while we're still getting everything set up. So you're more than welcome to join us whenever you get the chance to on that Friday. Following check-in, if you're checking in early with us, we have the Peace Community Hour, which is going to take place from 4:30 to 6:30 on that Friday. The station at Person Street is partnering with us for this event. For those of you that might not be familiar, the station at Person Street is walkable from our campus. It is an American fare food place, and we'll actually be providing you all with food and drink tickets and just an opportunity to engage with each other. We'll have staff, we'll have faculty present, and then we've also extended an invitation to our alumni program. So we might have some presence from them as well. So it'll just be a good opportunity to kind of get together, have a little bit to eat, and just kind of kick off the weekend. And then depending on how your evening plans turn out, if you're wanting to hang out with us for the rest of the evening, we're planning to have a family's fireside on main lawn to wrap up our Friday evening. So think of it as s'mores. We'll have cider, we'll have some music, and just kind of an opportunity to hang out a little bit more before the Friday schedule kind of wraps up. Does anyone have any questions about the Friday events, or I'm good to just kind of roll into Saturday? Cool. If something comes up, feel free to drop it in the chat. You can raise your hand, you can unmute and ask me. That's no biggie. So then moving into Saturday, again, the bookstore has offered extra hours to be open for us over the weekend, so 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. While that's also going on, we'll have check-in pretty much running the whole day on Saturday in case folks weren't able to join us on the Friday. So we'll have check-in, state fair pickup, state fair ticket pickup, not the entire state fair. That would be a lot to carry. And then from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. that day, we're going to be having a pickup pickleball event. I'm really excited about it. I don't know if you all are into pickleball, but I'm into pickleball. We just got to buy a new net. I'm really excited about it. But we'll be doing that, and then we'll also have some offering for you all that morning. We're thinking like smoothies, acai bowls, something to kind of kick off your morning and kind of have fun. It seems like it's very popular, so I'm hoping that folks are interested in playing. If not, I'll be out there and you can join me. No worries. And then we'll kind of take a brief break. We'll kind of move into our next part of the day. So if you and your student want to just hang out for a little bit, if you want to take a break, that's so sorry, that kind of distracted me a little bit. Um, and then we'll move into our impact lunch. So our impact lunch is a really cool opportunity to kind of engage a little bit more with the Raleigh community. So what we are doing and why we are calling it the impact lunch is we are partnering with a local Pay What You Can cafe in downtown Raleigh. So they'll be catering the lunch for us and they'll talk a little bit more about their story and how they positively impact the Raleigh community. And then we'll also be taking some time to pack some toiletry packages for another local needs-based organization called the Haven House. So kind of making our impact on Raleigh. You all will get some impacts from them, I'm hoping. And it'll be a good time to have lunch and kind of hang out. Um, and then following the Impact Lunch, we'll move into Pacer Palooza. So think of Pacer Palooza kind of like a fall festival. We'll have a lot of fun things at this event. We'll have music, we'll have inflatable activities, we'll have some DIY event activities, not events, sorry. We'll also have an opportunity for you to take a family photo with your students, some keepsakes to take away. And then we'll also have another part set up called the Family Fan Zone. If you're joining us for the men's soccer game that evening, we'll have some temporary tattoos. We'll have some sign making activities just to kind of get hyped up for the game that evening, which we should be hyped. It will be our men's soccer senior night, which is exciting. We're also offering a trolley to the men's soccer game. So if you're wanting to join us for that, you're more than welcome to. If you'd like to drive yourself, that's also totally okay. So that will follow up Pacer Palooza. And then we'll actually have the men's soccer game at Wake Med Soccer Park, which isn't too far from campus, about 20 minutes. So we'll watch their game and then that will wrap up our programming for that Saturday. Alrighty, and then I will go ahead and talk about Sunday, and then we'll kind of roll into the next couple pieces. So Sunday is our last day of family weekend. We'll be having a chapel service in Dinwiddie Chapel, which is in our main building on campus. This is just a non-denominational Christian worship service, and our campus chaplain will be coming to provide this service to you all. So if you're interested, you're more than welcome. Everyone is welcome to join. Following that, we will have brunch with your student on or off campus. So you all are welcome to join your student for brunch on campus in our Belk Dining Hall or on your family weekend guide. I have created some local places that are nearby that have discounts being affiliated with Peace or have their own spin on discounts or live music options for brunch that day. And then if you haven't had enough of us and haven't had enough of Raleigh, which I hope that you'll stay with us throughout the whole weekend, we're actually going to be having the historic Raleigh Trolley Tour pick up and drop off at Peace's campus. So think of a classic trolley and you'll hop on and you'll get to hear all about the different historic places in Raleigh, also known as the City of Oaks. So you'll get to learn a little bit more about why it's called that. And that basically wraps up the weekend. One of the things that I will mention, and this will come up as we kind of talk through registration, but the price that you pay for Family Weekend covers any and all pieces with Family Weekend, with the exception of state fair tickets, and the brunch that might be on campus or off campus with your student. Everything else is covered, so you can come to as many things as you'd like. You can come to as little of things as you'd like, but we're more than happy to host you all for the entire weekend. Anyone have any questions just based off of these pieces before I roll into what registration might look like? Okay, no worries. So then let's talk a little bit about registration. So this is screenshots that were taken directly from the Pacer Family Portal, which is where you would need to register for this event. So a couple things that I just wanted to point out. Registration is open now and it will close on October 19th at 11:59 p.m. So that's leading into the week of Family Weekend, just so we can get some final numbers. So just make sure that if you're interested in registering, you get that in before the registration closes. We will update the registration page with a bit more details about the schedule, like I just went over with you all. So if you need to reference it later, it will be there. For family members who are attending, it is a $32 registration fee per person. And then for any currently enrolled Peace students, it is free for them to attend, but we'll just include them on your registration when you're going through and putting all those details together. So just wanted to touch on those pieces. And then for the registration process, just wanted to, show you what it might look like. So when you're registering, you'll put in your first and last name as the registrant. You'll list how many Peace students are attending with you. And then following that for the additional guest information, you'll just list how many additional guests are attending with you. And then you'll put in their names, just as many people that you have joining you. I don't know if this person's on the call, but I did get a question about if there were more people that were needing to be registered, but the numbers weren't high enough on the portal. So if you're watching this live or if you're watching this later on, feel free to email me directly and I can adjust the numbers so that you can register the correct amount of people. And then looking at the registration process for one more screenshot, it's pretty explicitly listed, but I did want to mention that it will tell you on which pieces to include your Peace student in your registration versus not. So for general admission tickets, that is incurring a cost. So that doesn't include your Peace student, but if it's yourself and another family member, that would be two tickets. For state fair tickets, that's an additional cost. We're getting them discounted from folks that work for the state fair. So $8 is cheaper than what you'll get online. So if you're interested in going to the state fair, which is going on the entire weekend of Family Weekend, you can purchase state fair tickets and we will give them to you upon check-in. So that's $8 per ticket as well. And on the registration page, we've got some more details. I will mention that these are tickets for ages 13 to 64, just because we know we'll hit that minimum rather than any folks who are younger than 13, but we do have it linked out where you can purchase tickets for anyone who might be 13 and under 13. And then wanted to give that other example down below for the Peace Community Hour. So please include your Peace student and total number of tickets needed, just as an example of everyone's welcome to join, but just kind of differentiating between the two. And then moving into next steps after registration. So you'll go through, register on the Pacer Family Portal. And then once that's completed, you'll actually get a confirmation email in your inbox and review the details. So it talks about local hotel discounts. It talks about additional NC State Fair information if you purchase tickets. It's also going to share information about parking and a campus map for when you arrive. We'll also share out updates through the portal for Family Weekend as we get closer. We're just a little under a month out, so there will be some more details coming through in the next week. And then I just hope that you all will get excited. I do have one other thing that I wanted to discuss a little bit. So for the local hotel discounts, I will drop this link in the chat after I stop sharing my screen, just for ease of the presentation. But we actually have three hotels that are nearby to campus that offer discounts for folks who are affiliated with Peace. Excuse me, and they have links associated with that. So I'll drop the link that kind of lists all of them out. So one is the Hyatt House, one is the Longleaf Hotel, and then we have another hotel downtown. Their name is slipping my mind, but I will drop that link in the chat where you can access those additional hotel discounts. And I will say we are working on making a family guide for the weekend, and that also lists out many discounts that are available that are eligible with your student's Pacer ID, as well as events and activities that are going on in Raleigh in general. So, does anyone have any questions? That's pretty much my presentation, but I'll stop sharing my screen for the moment so I can pull up that link and share it with you all in the chat. But does anyone have any questions that I can touch on that maybe you didn't hear me talk about that I can revisit or anything else that I can chat about with you all? For the NC State, yes. So for the NC State Fair tickets, once you purchase them, you'll get them as soon as you check in for family weekend. So one of the things that I would maybe recommend is even if say you aren't local and you are coming in on the Friday, just come check in with us and we'll give them to you so you have them for the full weekend to decide what you'd like to do, either going on the Friday, the Saturday, or the Sunday. So we'll have them and we will deliver them to you when you come and check in for family weekend. Does anyone else have any other questions that I can touch on? I will say that I am really excited about Family Weekend. We were not able to host it last year due to some inclement weather, so I'm excited to see this kind of take off, and hopefully, it'll be a fun time for folks with the state fair and other events that are going on in Raleigh around this time. Um, does anyone have any other questions about maybe visiting campus or registering, where to find it on the portal, or any other details that I can provide?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, sorry. We're at a dinner, so I didn't hear a lot of it. So sorry. But
You're okay.
so I have a question. Can grandparents go as well?
Yes, absolutely. We're happy to have the whole family.
Okay, great. So it's just the cost. It would just be it was $32, right? The cost per person.
Yes, so it's 32 per person. So say if it's yourself, maybe your partner, and then two grandparents, you would just be paying for four tickets.
Okay, perfect. Okay, and then we don't have to pay. I think I saw that we don't have to pay for our child who's a student there.
Yes, any students who are currently enrolled in Peace do not have to pay.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. Because yeah, I think my parents are going to be coming in.
That's awesome.
Um, yeah, they pay the tuition, so I think they're going to be coming.
Well, we would love to have them. And I will say for anyone who's on the call, if your student is TUG or if you are the student and you are in our SPS program, everyone is welcome to be part of Family Weekend. So please come, the more the merrier. We are planning a lot of events with hosting many people. We want to have everyone there. So if any other family members, aunts, uncles, like if you are supporting the student that's at Peace, we would love to have you. That's kind of how we see the concept of Family Weekend here. So please don't hesitate to register or ask any questions about that. Thank you so much for that question.
Thank you.
Does anyone else have any other questions that I could touch on for Family Weekend? I will say that if there is any other questions that come up as maybe you're registering or after you register, if there's not enough detail in the confirmation message, I'm happy to provide any additional details to you all. I will say, I mentioned this at least once, but I have made a more detailed family guide that I will be uploading to the Pacer Family Portal that will kind of reiterate some of the details of the weekend. So if you're looking for a bit more information in that regard, we can totally do that. But I do hope you all will join us. I think one of the really great things about Peace that makes it a little bit different than those larger institutions, we're going to really try to show you all the benefits of what's in Raleigh, as well as having time for you to spend with your student. I will say, for any of your students that might be here, we are actually also going to have some tabling presents at Pacerpalooza from some of the City of Raleigh departments. So, one talking about transportation and how your student could utilize the Go Bus or other ways to get around the City of Raleigh if they might not have their own vehicle, as well as the Parks and Rec department. So, talking about green spaces in the area and ways that they can enjoy the spaces in Raleigh while they're here as a student. So, we're really hoping that we'll be able to show a little bit of both for those of you who might have a first year student. Orientation is a lot of like, here's all these check mark items. We're hoping that for you who might be returning, as well as a first year parent, we would love to kind of see a different side of like, this is relaxed. We'd love to have time on campus with our students. So hopefully that resonates with you all and we can host you on campus in October. That's pretty much it for my presentation. I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording, but I will hang out for just a little bit longer. But if anyone does need anything else from me, my email is mmhickey@peace.edu. You can also email me at pacerfamily@peace.edu, and I'd be happy to chat. But thank you all so much for being here, and I'm hoping that I'll see you all at Family Weekend. So thank you so much.